Hello you lovely lot, and welcome back to a brand new video here on my channel. Now you may be noticing something adorning my ears, and no, we are not going to a Ren fair. We are in fact going to see Lord of the Rings the musical. How exciting is that? Before this summer I didn't even know such thing as Lord of the Rings the musical existed, but as someone who is a massive fan of the original trilogy as well as the books and The Hobbit, I thought, why not? It's certainly an interesting concept and I cannot wait to bring you guys along with me for the journey. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Lord of the Rings the musical. What is it? What's it about? What's going on here? Now, I think the title of the musical kind of gives it away. Lord of the Rings the musical. It is about Lord of the Rings, the series by J.R.R. Tolkien, about a ring of power that needs to be thrown into the fires of Mordor to get destroyed, and the merry band, or the fellowship, that forms to get the ring there safely. We have hobbits, we have humans, we have dwarves, and we have elves. We even have a few wizards here and there. So it is certainly an exciting tale. Now, I don't know whether this is just the first movie, so Fellowship of the Rings, whether it's all three, whether it's a bit of a mix mash. So it'll be interesting to see what key moments across this series are hit on, whether it's more book accurate, whether it's more based off of the films. I am very intrigued. I'm also intrigued to see how they do all of the various fight scenes, special effects if there are any. There's often a lot of magical creatures in Lord of the Rings, like I think it's a Balrog, the giant flaming monster that Gandalf fights, the whole "you shall not pass" moment. They have to have that in there, right guys? Like, if they don't have "you shall not pass," like, is this whole thing worth it? But in preparation for all of this, just so I have the most knowledge in my head to help provide you guys with the most context and understanding for what I'm about to go and see, I have recently sat down and watched all of the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. I haven't quite had time to read the whole trilogy. I'm quite a slow reader due to my dyslexia, but I have watched the movies, so hopefully that gives me enough fresh memories as to what went on, what the plot is, what key moments I think there are that need to be included, to then compare and contrast with this musical we are about to go and see. Now, Lord of the Rings the musical is taking place at the Watermill Theatre over in Newbury, so it's about an hour and a half's drive, which we will be undertaking very shortly. When we get there, I have actually booked for the theatre's restaurant, which has a themed menu. It has a Lord of the Rings themed menu, so I figured why not, we're gonna just go all in and have the full experience that the theatre wants us to have. I'm also aware that there are a few moments that happen before and after the show in a little themed outside area that they have set up, and if you know me, you know I love anything that is branded as immersive, so I am definitely very excited. I am, of course, as I said earlier, a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so the opportunity to go and see Lord of the Rings the musical, something which is combining two of my loves, fantasy and musical theatre, of course I had to say yes. So I suggest we get on the road and get to the theatre. Okay, so we have just done the hour and a half's drive. We are at what is honestly the most adorable setting for a theatre I've ever seen.
It's so cute.
It looks more like a little old-timey, I say old-timey, this is probably Georgian.
Yeah.
Knowledge, we love that. A little old-timey thing. I'll show you guys around later. I have just spotted some muscovy ducks, which are my favourite type of duck, so I'm definitely going to make sure I go and say hi. I also have Kaylin here with me. I'll give you a full outfit tour later. We are a little bit early. Our reservation's not for like half an hour, but that's okay, because we have to work out where the restaurant is. Oh, bar and restaurant, I should probably follow the signs, and where the box office is, as they have our tickets. But that being said, we have made it, and we're just going to sit in the car for a little bit because it's a little bit gross outside, sadly. But yeah, we will pick you guys back up when we get there. Okay, so we are at the Watermill Playhouse restaurant for their Lord of the Rings themed menu, which is absolutely adorable. That's not a word. Adorable. We've just polished off the breadboard because we were very hungry. It was very lovely. Kaylin's still going, but they don't want to be filmed eating, understandably. I think we're both going to go for the pork apple and Cotswold cider short crust pastry pie. Ooh, I'll leave that for you. That went horribly wrong. And then I think I'm probably going to have the chocolate pear crumble for my dessert, whilst Kaylin, I think, is leaning towards Bilbo's birthday Bakewell tart, which is so cute. And weather permitting, it's Bilbo's 111th. What does he say? He calls it something funny in the movie. 111st birthday. So outside is Bilbo's 111st birthday, which we all get to take part in because this is a semi-immersive production. And once we're back outside, I'll also give you a tour of both of our outfits. You may have noticed I currently have Aragorn's ring on, but Kaelin has come fully decked out as a hobbit, so we will get some outfit tours going shortly. I will keep you updated on how our food is. I am very looking forward to it. We have had one Lord of the Rings themed meal before, and that was in Denny's in California, and it was part of their special promotion with the Hobbit movie when the Hobbit was coming out, and Kaelin had a Hobbit themed roast dinner, and they have never shut up about this since, so that is what tonight's meal has to compare to. So whether it does or not will only be a matter of time. Okay, so we have had our Hobbit's dinner. What did you think of it, Kaelin?
Very good, very hobbity.
How was it compared to the Denny's one though? That's the real question.
I think we were very tired when we had Denny's and nothing could beat the Hobbit meal at Denny's. But
no, very true. That was very excellent. We were now in a little outdoor sort of courtyardy bit waiting for the outside show to start, which should hopefully be very soon. But we have gotten our hands on some booze and they come in these cute, adorable little reusable cups, which I love. You get to keep these. They are £2.50 on top of the price of your booze, which is really nice. Now I think it's time to move on to do a little cheeky little outfit tour. So we're going to start with Kaelin.
Oh,
actually, right, I'm going to flip you around and they can talk you through that outfit.
Hello, I'm dressed as Hobbit. Oh, there's a chair right there. I made this shirt, made the trousers, and I did not make the waistcoat, but it is vintage. And then this cloak is actually a vintage sari that I got secondhand.
Oh, very nice.
And it's very elven with gold work involved.
Give us a 360. Very, very gorgeous, very lovely. 10 out of 10. They've been getting lots of compliments on it. It's now time for me to do my outfit reveal. Trousers, £15 from M&S about 8 years ago. Hence why they look like Ron Weasley's pyjamas. They are too short for it. But there we go. Top, also M&S. As you can see, I went for slightly less of an elven vibe, but I do have these custom-made golden elf ears, courtesy of my wonderful sibling Kaelin. And get this, I have Aragorn's ring. This, I couldn't believe I found this when I was getting ready today. It is a really cheap, gross knockoff version of his ring from the movies. It keeps turning my finger green, that's how cheap it is. But I was rummaging through my drawers today trying to find some stuff to wear and I stumbled across this. So amazing, 10 out of 10. But that is the outfit. Kind of wanted to dress to the vibe and I feel like I have. So you've pretty much nailed that. But it is now 7:45. The show starts at 7:30, but I don't know if that's the outside show that starts at 7:30 or the inside show. So we're just loitering, waiting. I love it. Sadly, it's a little bit drizzly, a little bit rainy. They do have a contingency plan for if it is too rainy to use the garden out here, which I'm sure I will show you even if they don't end up using it. I hope they can use it, just because it'd be nice to get the absolute full experience, but I do understand that despite theatre technicians being able to do a lot, they can't quite control the weather yet. So that remains
We're working
to be
on
seen.
it.
Yes, we are. We are working very closely on it. That remains to be seen. There's a lot of people here looking very excited. A very mixed crowd, I won't lie. Like, I don't know what I was expecting in terms of the audience. Now, a little bit about the Watermill Theatre. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I was shocked by how in the middle of nowhere it was on our drive. Kaelin is just reaching for their drink. But it's gorgeous. Waterside, Watermill. It is an old watermill. But yeah, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but perfectly suits the theme, which I love. Really rural, really nice. It's kind of like an old-timey house. So definitely helps build into the atmosphere, but that is all for now. We'll pick you up in a moment because there's some people awkwardly not wanting to ruin this shot for us, so I'm going to wrap it up there so they can come and hang out here as well. Okay, now would probably be the ideal time for me to come in and tell you guys that in my ADHD scatterbrainedness, I completely forgot to keep recording. Basically, after this outside portion of the show, you're basically given the introduction to the Lord of the Rings as if it's a story that's being told at Bilbo's party, which I thought was really cute. But then all of the hobbits get you up and usher you into the theatre, so I didn't really have time to film between this musical outdoor immersive stuff starting and being swept into the theatre. But I do film a little bit for you in the interval and show you around the theatre, even though after I finished filming, they were like, hey, can you maybe not film anything? But no one explicitly came up to me to tell me off, so I'm going to show you guys anyway, because I think what the Watermill Theatre have done with that place, chef's kiss, outstanding, gorgeous, like it needs to be shared, loved and talked about. So yeah, if it's a bit disjointed, that is why. Okay, we have made it to the interval. Kaylin, what are your halftime thoughts?
It's very good.
Yeah, is that it?
That's it. I would love some ice cream.
Okay, let's go get some ice cream. We're going to walk this way to get some ice cream. Look how cute this little building is. We're going to wander. That's round in a circle. We're going to go this way. Watch Flora struggle to navigate a building as if I don't have a geography degree or anything. But here we go. We're going to head down this way and I'm going to show you how cute this garden looks. All lit up because it is now, as you can see, dark outside. But look how adorable it looks, honestly. Oh, it's so cute. That is adorable. Look at that. We're going to come back and get some more pictures with the wicker ring, which has kind of been a theme throughout this whole thing, which is really nice. We're going to grab some ice cream for Kaylin. Very important. Let me know down in the comments what your go-to ice cream flavour is, because mine, strawberry, which is a controversial one. Okay, twist. We have gone for lemon sorbet today instead. Just thought I'd give it a try, shake things up. What I will say, we've had a little discuss of what we think so far, but one of my favourite things thus far is how unique each of the, mythical races' dance styles have been. Like, the dancing of the elves has been very, almost Bollywood-esque in terms of their hand movements and things. We had more of like a hip-hop style for the orcs. I think that's what they were supposed to be.
Yeah, they are orcs.
Yeah. Which was really cool, really great visual way of differentiating between the mythical races.
You can please cut this out. She was a skater orc because they're wearing all the knee pads.
Okay. And another thing that I really liked, and I wish I could get my hands on one to show you, is the ring wraith puppets. Now, it's not the creepy kings with their flowing black robes. It's like horse skeleton puppets. With ears, but horse skeleton. But we have a puppet expert here, so we're going to pass you over.
I love puppets. Anybody who plays Zelda, they look exactly like the Stall horses from Breath of the Wild, but they have a trigger mechanism in their spine, and it works similarly to Scar's headpiece in The Lion King. Anyway.
There we have it.
There you go.
But they were very fantastic, very scary as well. The soundscape they had going on with it as well was terrifying, really creepy, didn't like it. What I will say, my one disappointment, and that is not me saying this has been bad by any means, this is just one niggle. Gandalf's "You Shall Not Pass" was a bit underwhelming, which is fine. It's a creative choice. I would just have liked to see a bit more of a... But it's strange. It's more along the lines of the books, certainly, than the movies. And obviously, because you're taking what is effectively 9 hours of film and condensing it into a 3-hour musical, you end up obviously having to cut a lot out. So it does feel a little bit, I don't know if you feel the same, Kaylin, as though we are jumping between scenes quite quickly, but it is still flowing, which I appreciate. I'm intrigued to see what the second half is like, because we've just had Boromir die. So we have a lot. We're towards the end of Fellowship of the Rings, and we've got the rest. We've got 2 movies to go, effectively, to give you an idea of how it's laid out. I'm trying to think what else I have to say.
Admittedly, most of the next 2 movies are fight.
Yeah, most of the next 2 movies are walking, running, or fighting, so there's less. We can cut more out, we don't need to walk for that long. I've been shocked by how dynamic the stage is as well. I will obviously do a full review of this when I get home, but the stage, me and Kaylin, when the revolve got turned on, we're like, oh my god, there's a revolve, because I'll try and show you the space. If not, I'll throw some pictures around, because there are technically no photos in there, but I'll try and show you the space. It's incredibly dynamic, and that is our bell to tell us to go back inside, so I'll pick you up afterwards. I'm gonna give you guys a quick little flyby whilst we are in here, because look how gorgeous this is. If I stand up, you can see some of the detailing on the floor as well, and all of the instruments now. Okay, for some reason, filming against the rules in the theatre was like the last time I decided to pick the camera up. But basically, we watched the second act, and it was amazing. My one complaint, the creepy spider puppet, my skin was crawling, the sounds it was making, I did not like it, okay? Like, disgusting. No, I'm not a spider person. But I think the fact they managed to elicit that reaction from me with a puppet certainly is a testament to the puppetry used in this show. So take that from it, as opposed to my deadly fear of spiders. But basically, let's have a little play-by-play of what I liked about Act 2 before I go into a little bit more of a review for you guys. Act 2, Gollum. The guy playing Gollum, oh my god, he was clambering all over that theatre. He was hanging upside down off of things, appearing behind people, proper creepy, like Gollum should be. And is it Andy something? Let me just look up who plays Gollum, shall I? I want to say it's Andy. Who plays Gollum? Andy Serkis. I was right. Okay, so it was sort of half an Andy Serkis impression and half a unique interpretation of it, which I did really like. Gollum also got a little song, which was very creepy. He's a creepy bloke, what can I say? And then the fight choreography was also really good. And like I said at the interval, it is definitely more along the lines of the books as opposed to the movies. So there were a lot of different plot points. One of my biggest issues was that instead of calling Sam Samwise Gamgee, they just called him Sam Gamgee. And I'm like, yeah, but Samwise is such a great name. So a little disappointed by that, but that's literally just a personal niggle, so it has nothing to do with my overall views, thoughts, and feelings on the show. And then Act 2 rounded out with I want to say it's the closing, not the closing lines of the book, but towards the end, it's like, and when they got back to the Shire, they found that Sauron had pretty much completely industrialized it. Everything was broken and split, and plants weren't growing, and it was smoggy. And picture what the Lorax did. Not the Lorax, he's the good guy. Picture what the Onceler did to wherever the Lorax was living. That's what the bad guys did to the Shire in the books, which we don't see in the movies. So they usher everyone back outside to that same outside space that we were in before. And from there, they get the audience involved in helping the round stage completely split open, like cut in half. So they get the audience all up to help move the two halves of the stage together and hang bunting back up. And then they get all the instruments out, and basically it kind of loops back round to them all playing this joyous music and stuff. There was not a dry eye in the house at the end. The ending of The Lord of the Rings is so touching because at the core of it, it is pretty much a story about friendship at the end of the day, what Sam and Frodo go through and things like that. So literally there were people like full on sobbing, tears streaming down, but it was just such a wonderful way to end everything and bring us back to effectively where we'd started. Sorry, it's my phone. In terms of everyone joining in and getting involved, and you could tell how invested people had become in these characters and this story. So Act 2 was a brilliant ending to the show. I really appreciated it. And finally, without keeping you guys here for too much longer, as I know this has been a little bit of a longer video for me, let's go over some of my loves, dislikes, all of that from the show. And let's be real, there's very few dislikes. Biggest dislike, okay, the spider, but I made that clear. Hated that thing. But the fact I hated it was a good thing. I think for a lot of people, the fact that it was more along the lines of the books compared to the movies would have been a bit unsettling, as I do feel like the movies are more well known socially at this point in time. Certainly, it's the versions I prefer because I just like the slight tweaks they made to characters and things. Biggest thing for this, guys, is it is a long show. It was 3 hours. It was long, but it has to be. It's The Lord of the Rings. So if you're someone like me who does struggle to sit still for a very long period of time, a show like this might not be ideal for you. Lord of the Rings, the musical journey, is running till the 8th of October, so I have left it a little late, but if you guys do have the time to go and see it, I do highly recommend it. If not, go and check anything out of the Watermill Theatre. What that theatre manages to produce is phenomenal. The puppetry was mind-blowing. Any show that manages to use puppets that well, chef's kiss. But Also, its use of the really dynamic stage, despite the small space that you obviously saw earlier, phenomenal. The fact that all of the actors were actor musicians, so all of the music in the show was played by cast members coming on with various instruments, and they were all swapping and changing and playing and reading their lines. And as someone who can, barely get through a YouTube video without stumbling over our words, the thought of putting on a show in which I had to sing, dance, act, and play an instrument, terrifying. So a big round of applause to the cast for that. But like I said, I would keep it short. I really thoroughly enjoyed this show, so much so that I obviously, as usual, forgot to keep filming. But what else is new there? I so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit rushed, a little bit all over the place, and given that I saw the show nearly a month ago, I have left it quite late, but life has been hectic with getting back to uni. So this is my time to remind you that if you did enjoy this video and you want more content like it in the future, make sure you are subscribed. And like I said, let me know what your go-to ice cream flavour at the theatre is in the comments, because it's the kind of information I love to know about people. I believe it reveals a lot about your personality. But there you are, guys. Until next time, see ya!